What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Same Difference podcast.
Is this thing on? Hello there. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. How are you? Let me bring my mic a little closer.
Not bad this morning.
Well,
My
that is
email
great
is
to hear.
booming a little bit at work, but nothing I can't respond to and fix in 10 minutes.
Okay, all right. I should have started with Hola, señorita.
Hola, señorita.
Tell the
Buenos
people why I'm
dias.
speaking in Espanol, Pasha.
Because I just returned from Spain. I got back from Spain last Tuesday evening. So
Okay.
yeah, I had a little.
How was your trip?
Really fun. I had a blast. It was a trip that I went on at the last minute. There was no reason in particular why I was going, but my friend is always on the hunt for cheap tickets to wherever. And so I want to literally a month ago, she was just like, "Hey, do you want to go to Barcelona?" And I was like, "Sure." Looked up the tickets, any flying from O'Hare is, flying from Chicago is always, really nice because you can find a deal. And so I found a cheap ticket and we split the cost of a hotel, and I would say I was on the first thing smoking, but I took an evening flight. So one of the last things smoking. And got out of town for a little. Well, got out the country for a little bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you have a great time?
I did. I went to a really cool museum, saw some really amazing artwork. Literally all of my favorite artists of modern day artists or artists within the last 20th and 21st century, all in one museum. So I got to see some Basquiat, some Keith Haring, Andy Warhol, Cause, and then a couple of other artists that I'm familiar with that I don't really follow their work, but I'm familiar with their name and got to see some of their stuff too. And then got hip to some new artists. So I got some content I need to post over on the Mahogany Crayon.
Okay. So y'all know what that means. Head on over to the ground.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, you can also follow me on Fashionista as well and check out all my reels. TikTok too. My follower count has grown by 100 since I started being consistent with my posting.
Okay. Well, good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, but back to Spain. I did a museum trip. We did a little club visit. That was very short lived. We were probably there for like a half an hour.
Okay.
There was a thirsty who was popping up every 5 minutes, and it was getting annoying and uncomfortable. So we just left.
So the man was after y'all.
I don't want to say men. This just one person in particular. We went to the club. We were this close to not going, but we were like, no, let's go. We're here. Let's just do it. So we went.
Why were y'all hesitant? Were y'all tired because of the time difference?
Jet lag was kicking our ass. Okay.
Okay.
So we were tired, and we had bought outfits to get dressed every night, but the first couple nights we were just kind of like, we're not doing it. And so the outfits we
ended up wearing. It's always better to have it and not need it than to need it and you ain't got it.
Right. So yes, always be safe than sorry, but we did not, I overpacked like hell, and so there was 2 outfits in there that didn't need to be.
Of course you did.
So we went to the club just to check it out, and it was a Mapiano music, so it was a vibe. It was cool. I was into it. I was having a good time. We had been drinking all day, so I was already feeling like a really nice buzz anyway. So my inhibitions were just loose. And so some dude wanted to dance with me. And Joy, when we go out to the clubs and stuff, nobody dances anymore. So I was like, I'm about to dance with him. So he was fucking up, and when it's a Mapiano music, or you're just dancing with, men of the diaspora, it gets real, freaky. And then after a while, y'all just kind of fucking it up. And so we was grooving. But then after 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm a little sweaty and I'm done, I'm done. I'm done with this. And so I wanted to get a drink, but the way that they, were doing drinks was when you get in, you go get drink tickets, then you come back to the bar to get your drinks. And it was just really complicated. So we're standing there at the bar. I'm trying to figure out the drink situation, and then here the little dude come that I'm dancing with, and I'm like, he was so thirsty and just had to be like in my face that he ended up sandwiching himself between my friend and I. And I turned and looked at him, and I grabbed my friend. I said, "Excuse me, she's with me. You don't move her out of the way." And what? Just he not sure, why I'm reacting this way. And I wasn't rude about it. I was just kind of like, I just like moved my arm in there, and I was like, "Excuse me, she's with me. Like, get your ass on." Thirsty. Like, are you even over
Yeah.
here trying to buy somebody a drink? No, you're not. So, like,
Mhm.
move. So then I give up on the drink situation. We're walking to go find our friends who are out on the balcony at this point because it was hot in the club and it was stinking too, girl. I told you it was a Mapiano, so it was stinking in there. Wink, wink.
They was tearing the flow up.
And didn't have no deodorant or nothing on before they came out. So we so on our way outside, this guy snatches up my friend, starts dancing with her. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to leave her by herself. So I kind of
Mhm.
just kind of stand off to the side, and then boom, here the dude. And I'm like, oh, brother. So, I hit a little two step with him real quick. And then my friend's like, okay, I'm done dancing. We walking. So I follow her immediately. We get outside, meet up with the other two girls, chit chatting. I turn around, boom, he right here. You want to smoke? You want to smoke some marijuana? You want to? Well, no, he said you want to smoke. So I clarify, cigarette or marijuana? Because what are you talking about? And he was like, no cigarette, no cigarette. He's like, my guys, they're down here, they're down here. So, I'm over here peeping the scene. My ears perk up like a dog when you talk about Mary Jane. So, we were very honest about the fact that I hugged the tree. So I wanted to see what kind of trees he had over there to hug on. And then,
Mhm.
I kind of noticed like that his friends aren't really paying attention to him or me. And I don't really see him going over to his friends like, hey, let me get a little something so I can chit chat with this girl. And so I'm kind of there standing there looking stupid. And I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go back to my friends. Like, I don't
Mm.
like, we were only like maybe 5 feet away. It wasn't like I ventured off, but I'm going back
Mhm.
over by my crew. And he's like, no, no, wait, no, wait. And like grabs my arm. And I'm like, no, man, like, you come over to me when you got the shit. In the meantime, like go over there and do your thing. So I walk away. My friend, we're all together. We're kind of trying to figure out our next move. Like, are we staying? Are we going to enjoy ourselves? We're going to get some drinks. Or are we going to kind of stand around and look or look at everybody? What we doing? And everyone's kind of like, I don't know. No one's really saying anything. And then here to do right here again. And I
Oh
look.
my gosh, what a pest.
Exactly. I said, you know what? I'm ready to go home. And one of the girls was like, that's the best thing you've said all night. So we left, girl. We got the heck out of Dodge. It
Not
was,
y'all hitting each other when let me know when you ready to go. Shit, I'm ready to go
I
now. I'm
mean,
ready to go too.
it was so annoying. Sweetie, I danced with you. It was one little
Mhm.
dance. Like, were you not dancing with anybody else at the club that night, or did you not want to, or did you feel like, okay, we were dancing, and so this is who I'm going to hitch my wagon to? I don't. You weren't going to hitch your wagon to anything, not me.
Yeah, it's unfortunate when you meet somebody who just doesn't know when to let the moment end.
Read the
They
room.
just
You
want to
need to like
drag it
like
on.
you're
Yeah.
not even there's nothing smooth or suave about what you were doing at all. You were being a pest, as you said. It was
Mhm.
so annoying.
Mhm.
Oh, it just bothers me thinking about it. So yeah, we had a museum day, a club night. We ate a lot of tapas, went to a variety of different restaurants. I enjoyed the food. I don't know if the other girls did, but you go to a place like Europe and you're not really sure. And like I,
Mm.
I ordered a 4 cheese pizza, which I was really excited about, because it's pizza.
Mhm.
But one of the cheeses was like gorgonzola.
Ooh, I love gorgonzola
Isn't
cheese.
that kind of like a blue cheese?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
crumble.
yeah, no. So they put that on my pizza, and like I took a bite, all
Mm.
excited, and I'm like,
And it's very thick. It's
yeah,
an acquired taste, but I like
yes.
it. I've had it on salad.
So I took a bite of it, and I'm just chewing it, and I'm like, it's okay, yeah, it's good. And I'm like, there's something in this pizza, and then I look at the pizza, and I notice that I can see kind of like a blue cheese gorgonzola situation. Couldn't even finish it. So
Mm.
that
Oh,
was
you're
the
not a blue cheese person?
no, absolutely not.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No, no,
Okay.
no. So that was the only thing I could say that made my stomach turn just a little bit, but I had some paella. I tried like this cuttlefish rice
What
dish.
is paella?
So paella is like a traditional Spanish rice dish. And
Okay.
you can get it, a vegetable paella, you can do a shrimp paella, you can do, like veggie. You can it's like a kind of like pasta, and then you can get your pasta with red sauce, white sauce, meatballs, this and that,
Mm,
but situation kind of like
okay.
that. And it's only to be eaten at lunchtime, on Sundays, Saturdays, and Sundays, or something like that, or maybe just during
Really?
it's like a lunchtime dish or whatever.
Okay.
Um, so we ended up going to the beach, and we went to a
So what were the
restaurant.
other girls eating that they didn't care for?
I mean, they were trying everything. They were
Okay.
trying, all of the food that was on the menu that we had to offer. Like, my friend is a big foodie, so we always kind of trust her judgment with what to pick. But we got this dish called patatas bravas, which is basically potatoes with like sauce on top. I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was good, but they slathered like a lot of sauce. And so if
Mm-hmm.
you're not into sauce like that, or if you're not in control of how you're putting the condiments on your food, it might not be good, for you. And then, the way they cook their meat, they're not asking you, how do you, if you order a burger, they'll say, how do you want it? But if they're
Mm-hmm.
serving like a skirt steak or in some
Mm-hmm.
sort of a fillet or whatever, they're not asking you how to serve it. They're going to serve it the way it needs to be eaten.
And how is it?
Uh,
Medium, well, rare?
medium. So,
But see, that's how I like mine.
I do too. I feel like some people do medium very well, and then,
Mm-hmm.
you get a medium well, hoping that it's a little bit more cooked and it's too cooked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm in between medium and medium well. That's the sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
But in a place like, Spain, where,
Juicy, but I don't feel like I'm eating a piece of raw meat.
yeah, I don't want it bleeding on my plate. Like, let's
Yeah.
not do that. I think Europeans have a bit more of a refined palate than Americans.
Mm.
Obviously, the way we eat and what we eat and what's in the food that we eat is a huge topic of conversation. It's why everyone here is so fat. It's why there's so many health issues that are directly related to food.
It's just the way you said it.
Well, this is a fact. This is a fact that we are obese. We are an obese country.
We are.
Everybody's fat as fuck. That is a fact.
I think you
Unfortunately.
repeated it.
Well, it's the truth. And when
Oh
you go to a
man.
place like Europe, their servings are a lot smaller. The way they choose
Okay.
to serve food is a lot different. And so, we were eating, but then we were like hungry again. But
Mm.
we were walking around and moving and grooving. It's why people in Europe are a little bit more fit. They not shoveling
That's
17 pounds of
crazy.
food in their mouth and they're walking it off.
Yeah, I feel
So,
like we do eat to the point that we like, ooh.
and then we sit our asses down. We don't, we sit behind a wheel. We sit on a bus. We sit on a train. We don't
Mm.
walk nowhere, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
So, um, I enjoyed myself. I got some sand, of course. You know how I feel about my sand souvenirs.
What beach
Um,
is that? What part of the ocean is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I should probably look it up. But what was I going to say? Just left me. I would go back. I would go back in the summertime, just because
Okay.
it's such a coastal town. Like, a lot of the beach like surrounds the city, that I know that the best times and the best nights and probably the most, happen in places to be are in during the summertime. Like, that's the season.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Zara is originated in Spain. So I
Hmm.
made sure to go to the Zara there and got me a few pickups.
And
It was,
it was it different? Like, do they have
um,
like a different type of style in the Zara there?
so I do feel like Europeans dress differently, and I have shopped at a
That's true.
Zara. I was shopped, shopped at a Zara in Europe before, and noticed that everything that I bought in Europe showed up 3 months later in the States. So
Mm,
while everything
okay.
is the same, they're seeing everything a lot sooner. Their
Okay.
inventory is a lot larger, and the price point is just cheaper because they don't have to import it. It's in Spain, and then they can, they can send it wherever within Europe, whereas you send it to the US, they're
Mhm.
taxing the fuck out of it because you've got the brick and mortar stores. They do have their online, website, but
Mhm.
I got some very nice pickups. I'm really pleased with them. I would have liked to go
I
to
can't
some.
wait to see them.
You're funny. We'll do some get ready with me's. I would have liked to go to. There's some other stores in Europe that I would have liked to go to, but just because of time and when you're kind of on a group
Mhm.
trip, you don't really get to move. You have to
Mhm.
like move with the group, one band, one
Right.
sound. So,
Right. Right.
um,
Got you.
yeah. So we had a club night, had a museum day, did a little shopping day. We went to see La Sagrada Familia, which is this really beautiful church that's been under construction for ages. It's finally
Mm.
complete. Um,
Okay.
Buying tickets was a nightmare. I don't know if the website was crashing, but my friend could not purchase, I could not purchase, and then by the
Hmm.
time, we wanted to give it a third try, there weren't any available, so I didn't get to go inside.
Hmm.
But just for the experience in and of itself, hopping on the plane, getting over there, putting some cute little daytime sneaker outfits and traipsing around town, popping into bars, having drinks. We had found a lot of shisha. That was fun. I'm not a hookah girl, but the shisha was,
I know, friend.
you
A
know,
lot
it,
of people who are smokers aren't hookah people.
no, but when
Yeah.
you have a very nice, delicious piece of candy and then you hit this like crisp, pure shisha, oh,
It just elevates you.
with some
It just take you
kava.
there.
I had like 39 glasses of kava. It was a vibe. It was a vibe.
Oh wow. Oh,
I,
you were feeling good.
I told myself, you're going to Europe. You're about to drink all the kavas €4. You can't buy a drink for $5 here. You can't unless you
Okay.
want a little nasty little thing of, natty ice. And I don't drink that. So, yeah, I'm about to go over there and drink me some Spanish sparkling
Mm.
wine. I sure am.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a really
Okay.
fun trip. I was there from Thursday to Tuesday. It was perfect. Took a Thursday evening flight, arrived Friday morning, was there all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then left
Mm.
Tuesday
Oh,
morning.
you had a nice long little vacation.
Yeah, very like a long weekend in Europe is what I like to call it. In España.
Were you tired when you got back?
Yes, jet lag
What's
is
the
still
time difference?
7 hours
Ahead
um
or behind?
ahead.
Okay.
Ahead. So jet lag is still kicking my ass. I fell asleep
Mm.
at 9 p.m. I missed a
Well,
good portion.
you got jet lag and then you got daylight savings too, friend.
Yeah, I'm all messed up. I'm all messed up, and my mom will be here in 2 days. So woohoo! Well, I'm gonna have a house full in 2 days. But I went to
Okay.
bed at 9 o'clock yesterday. I missed a good bit of the Oscars. um,
Oh, well, I saw you starting to post about it.
well, about that, the red carpet and the way people, who and when people are showing up and when they're being interviewed has changed so much.
Okay. Okay.
I did not feel like E is getting like, so people are not showing up until the show is starting.
Mm.
So,
So
Zendaya.
you don't even really have time to talk to people on the
You,
carpet.
well, if the show starts at 6 o'clock and Zendaya shows up at 5:50, she's walking in, she's taking a couple pics, and she's going to sit down. And so she's
Mm-hmm.
not even on the main carpet where I can get some, good pics. Like I feel like the Met Gala is where I can really get my shit off
Mm.
because
Mm-hmm.
people are standing on the carpet for a
Mm-hmm.
time and they're
Mm-hmm.
talking and they're interviewing with multiple outlets where I feel like every media outlet is there. People are saying hi, bye, got to get in, and so I can't even get like Ariana Grande was a big draw. All you saw her was walking in. You didn't see her interviewing. I didn't get any good pictures of her. I didn't see any good pictures of Issa Rae. I didn't see any pictures of Tracy Ellis Ross. Like there were a lot of
Mm.
stars that I was looking for that I just didn't see.
Are they
Uh,
doing that on purpose because they don't want to talk?
yes,
Okay.
I
Wow.
think it has a lot to do with people's general attitude toward the media and how it's reported. Like even
Mm.
Davine Joy Randolph, who won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for The Holdovers, great movie. And congrats to her. Like I didn't really see her on the carpet very much, and I haven't seen any pictures of her. So I'm struggling with how to even get my shit off on Instagram like I used to years ago because
Mm.
the red carpet scene is just not what it was. And then there's people that used to show up to shit that don't anymore. You
Like
know?
who?
Um gosh, I mean, Regina King was there, but there was no press. Taraji P. Henson wasn't there. Danielle Brooks was there. Oprah wasn't there.
Mm.
Like there were a lot of people, like the cast of The Color Purple did not really show up.
Fantasia wasn't there?
She was not there.
Because she's been
Mm-mm.
showing up. Her and her stylist, baby. They have been holding the red carpet.
Nope. And I know that they were like notoriously snubbed aside from
Mm-hmm.
Danielle Brooks's nomination, and Coleman Domingo, he was in it but he was nominated for something else.
Mm.
So it just, I don't know. So there were a lot of people I would have liked to see. I don't understand why Issa Rae didn't have a bigger presence on the red carpet, because she was in Barbie and she also was in American Fiction, two movies that were nominated and were in the
Mm.
conversation. And then of course the Oscars are just white in general, so there aren't a ton of black celebrities that are going to show up. So I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't get what I was looking for. Like Anne Hathaway wasn't there. She's a big fashion girl. It just, Meryl Streep wasn't even there. Nicole
Mm.
Kidman wasn't there. Salma
I wonder,
Hayek.
is this going to be something like this is going to be kind of the how things go going forward with the Oscars. I mean, like you said, a lot of us don't go because the Oscars is so white. So it would make sense that maybe we don't see as many black people, because it's kind of like, I ain't finna keep on showing up for y'all to keep playing in our face. But
Right.
some of the white actors and actresses who usually are always present not to be there too, it's kind of like, are they sick of
Yeah,
it
like
too?
Brad Pitt wasn't there, Halle Berry wasn't there, like, past
Wow.
Oscar. I don't even think Leonardo DiCaprio was there. Like I just
Mm.
there was a and granted, when you're not in the awards conversation and you don't have any movies or anything, like I can see, why you wouldn't go, or why you would go to a viewing party.
Kind of, but like when it's a party in your industry, you
Right.
still and you get the invite, you still kind of put
I
on
would
the
think.
look and you go.
I would
Yeah.
think.
So
So
is the writer strike over?
it is over. And I think that has a lot to
Okay.
do with you know, a lack thereof this time around as well. The writer's strike
Okay.
really affected a lot and impacted a lot of
Mhm.
people, projects. But
Mm.
even Zendaya, who just was recently in Dune, she's got a movie coming out in April. She's been killing the red carpet. Like her look was wonderful. It was understated, but we didn't see her. We did not
Mm.
see her on the carpet. So
Hmm.
a little, I would have liked to see Tiana Taylor. She's currently working on like a
Mm.
big movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, and even though 1001 didn't get any nominations, she was still in the conversation. It would have been a good look
Mhm.
to see her on the carpet. So
Mhm.
very hard for me to do my fashion critiques, because a lot of the people that were there, I don't care about them.
I'm just every time we talk about Tiana Taylor, just her, she just warms my heart. I
I
just
know.
love everything that she's doing.
I
Oh,
know.
she is just chef's kiss for me. Mm.
When
Wish her the
when a
best.
celebrity pivots to another career and they, find success, it's my favorite
Hmm.
genre. It's my favorite
She is like
genre.
a true creative. Music,
Hmm.
acting, directing,
Dancing,
yes,
fashion.
producing. Just yes, T. Do your
She
thing, girl.
she does it
Rooting for
all.
you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Let's see.
yeah, the Oscars, my fashion content, I'm gonna have some, but I don't even
Okay.
feel excited about it. So I just don't know how that's gonna translate when I make my video.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
I feel you, friend.
We shall see.
Well, I don't have much of an update. I haven't been doing much, but the huge. I actually haven't even really been posting as much on any platform, but I would say mainly TikTok, since that's usually where I'm posting it. I don't know. I just kind of been taking it easy and
Really?
letting things ride. I did sign a contract with the brand for work for the rest of the year, so
Okay.
that's cool and fun.
Love.
Love to. And that's pretty much it. I do think that as we are closing out the first quarter, I'm gonna be and I have like some really decent content on my TikTok page. I'm going to be doing a lot more pitching in this second quarter. My goal is, y'all know I had told the podcast a while back that eventually I would like to do this full time. And
Hmm.
so if I can get, I'm going to say 5 to 6 solid contracts like the one that I just got, that would be where I need to be.
Okay.
So I think in second quarter, I'm going to work on pitching a little bit more and offering just my content and my vibe, and just me. Just it was always joy, and seeing how that pans out, and yeah, pretty
Okay.
much it.
Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to hear more. I know you. I know there's
Mm-hmm.
like, is there like an NDA involved?
There is an NDA. I had to sign an NDA, child. They
I'm
done zip
really,
my lips shut.
I'm really excited to hear more about this because that's big. That's a very big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, child. They done zip the kid lips up. So other than that, I don't really have anything. They did, child. You want this paper? You sign right here.
I like this.
So yeah, other than that, I don't
Congratulations.
really have much else going on. I'm gonna be in Atlanta next week for a class for my business, the finished look. Um, taking that in a different direction. I'm really, really, really excited about that because I'll get to spend the weekend with my mentor. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very nice. And what direction are you taking the finished look? Where because we talked a little bit about this yesterday. So how would you describe it now and what would you like for it to look like moving forward?
How I would describe it now is I got to a place where I had a very clear vision. And not that I didn't have a clear vision before, but I was just kind of doing what I wanted and not really hunkering down and focusing on like one steady vibe. I was just going with all of the vibes.
Got you.
And so I decided that the way that I want to present the finished look going forward is going to A, take time, B, take money. And I stopped buying inventory for the finished look, and I'm just getting rid of the inventory that I do have. And when I say getting rid of it, I'm just letting the girls come grab whatever they want, and it is like severely marked down through TikTok. I don't even have the website up because I want everything to look a certain way.
Hmm.
So if you want it, you have to get it through TikTok. And even without posting or promoting or talking about the finished look, I get orders every week. I am moving towards the finished look is going to be more reflective of who I am at 37, my kind of vibe, my style as it's changed over the years. And the finished look is going to be more of like resort wear,
Mm.
swimwear. Think
Oh, that's perfect
vacation,
with you living in Florida and things. You've got a lot of
isn't it?
backdrops for photo shoots for your attire.
Perfection. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Um,
girl.
think like if you were to go on vacation and you and your bae wanted to have matching or complementing outfits. I don't like to
Hmm.
say matching, but outfits that complement each other. Or even if you were going on a girls trip and you and all the girls kind of wanted to have a night where you go to dinner and
Hmm.
you dress similarly, whether it be color or style. And then to go along with that, because it is kind of like resort wear, there'll be swimwear, there'll be kind of like kimonos and just
Cute.
all of the things. And that's going to be it. There's not going to be any jeans, any tops, any there will still be like, dresses and things like that, but it's going to be in that same kind of style category.
Okay, I like.
So until I have it down like all the way, I just don't want to cuz what was starting to happen is I felt like I was starting to half ass it and halfway promoted because it wasn't what I wanted anymore. I'm going to be designing a few looks as well. So that's what the class is in the weekend that I'm going to be spending with my mentor is about next weekend.
Ooh, okay.
Sketching, I've already started sketching a few things, but sketching, working with the manufacturer,
You could
picking
draw.
fabric.
You could draw.
Huh? I'm learning now. Do they look like stick figures and box outfits? Yes. But the vision is there. Okay.
Oh, that's
So
cute. I love it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with the finished look. The finished look is my baby. I'm holding on to her tight. And if I need to put her on pause, which is what I've done, then that's what I'll do. So that's what I did.
Well, I'm looking forward to all the stuff that you have in the works. Your first quarter, you've been grinding, girl.
I've been trying, child. I've been grinding. I've been healing. I've been praying. I've been crying. I've been doing some of everything. I feel like God has really been breaking me down bit by bit. And once I get broken down, I be like, "Oh Lord God, okay, that was a deep one. That was," and then he break me down small. I be like, "God, you got me down to my knees now. How much deeper we going?" So, but yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, I always hear that Kendrick Lamar song. I don't know why he keeps blessing me. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm always thinking, like, when is something bad going to happen? Like, when am I going to be knocked on my ass? And I don't like putting that out into the universe, because the power of the tongue is real. But there's
Mm-hmm.
been so many wonderful things happening in my life, and they continue to happen, that after
Yeah.
a while I feel like, okay, well, when are things going to take a turn? And then part of me is just like, well, you have a sense of longing for, like, your love life to flourish and blossom, and that's not
Mm-hmm.
really happening. And while in other moments of my life that has brought me down and made me sad, right now I
Mm-hmm.
just don't, like, care about it. But, like, even
Mm-hmm.
even with my travels, I get really, really bad anxiety traveling, because my animals are old, and you just never know. You just never know. I
Mm-hmm.
want my home to be protected. I don't want nobody to break in. I just
Mm-hmm.
have all these bad feelings. And then there are little things that happen to me that make me feel like, okay, no, God is really, like, he's like, he is around me, and I'm covered. Like, everything is
Mm-hmm.
going to be fine. And I really appreciate those moments that I think to myself, that was nobody but God reassuring me that
Mm-hmm.
everything is going to be
Mm-hmm.
okay. And
Mm-hmm.
as someone that doesn't go to church regularly, and probably could be a little bit closer to God, I appreciate the continued blessings. And it's just like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
must be doing something right,
Mm-hmm.
because God could very
It's a
easily
it's
be
a
like,
it's
no,
a
sis.
blessing. It's a blessing to know that you already always got somebody that has your best interest at heart. And even with some of the things that I have been working through, healing through, I can see how the vision that I have for my life long term, how some of those things are necessary for me to go through and deal with now, so that who I want to be in the future is who I want to be in the future. Um, but I was actually feeling the same way about, like, okay, when is something bad gonna happen? Because I've been feeling like that this year because of how, like, kind of stressful my 2023 was. Like, okay,
Mm,
good things have been happening, particularly with my content and influencing. Like, so many things have been on the up and up and happening for me. Like, when I say I'm gonna start pitching in second quarter, I ain't pitched to nobody, and the brands are
they
knocking at
come.
my door.
I know that's
So I'm
right.
like, okay, this is going so well. It's almost like I'm waiting on a shoe to drop. I'm waiting for something to happen because it's been going so well for so long, when 2023 was kind of like the opposite. So, but I'm just gonna take the blessings and the favor as it comes, and let him deal with tomorrow, because I'm just trying to get through the day. So,
All right. Amen to that.
mm-hmm,
Amen to
mm-hmm,
that.
mm-hmm. Well, friend, I think today we said we were going to talk about Miss Drea
Mm, mm-hmm.
and all of the things that go along with this very um wild story of Drea. I don't even really know where to start. She did announce last week on International Women's Day, which I think that was strategic. I think that she announced on, why you got your hand up, friend?
Cause get out of my face with that. I'm gonna announce my pregnancy on International Women's Day, as if that was gonna make
I
us
think she Right. I think she felt like it would soften the blow. The blow
misguided.
being
You misguided
the
dummy.
the blow being she's 39 and she is having a baby with a young man who just turned 22, February the 9th. So he was 21 when he impregnated her.
Nasty heifer.
Um, he is the same age as Drea's oldest son. He is. Well, tell me what's the team? I know he's an NBA player. He plays for the
Houston
Bucks,
Rockets.
Houston Rockets. Okay, I don't know where I got Milwaukee. Oh, I'm thinking about Let me not say it because I might be wrong on him too. But I'm not really a basketball girl. I watch, but I'm more into football. So that is where I know a little bit more about the players and the teams and the happenings. But yeah, I don't know how anybody could rationalize Drea having a child with a child. I saw a lot of comments when all the blogs were picking it up. after
Mm-hmm.
she posted it, and people were saying, "Oh, but so this ain't predatory because when men do it, no, it's predatory then too.
Yep.
It's gross both ways."
Yep.
So,
That's my stance. And I ain't never felt differently.
mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Shame on Drea. Let me tell you something. I got brothers that's 23. They'll be 24 this summer, May and June. If them fools came home and said that they had a 40-year-old pregnant, sis gonna have to see me. I mean, be ready to square up. And I'm serious, friend. I am not joking. I'm dead serious because I feel like you would be preying on my brothers. They're
Mm-hmm.
23 years old. They don't know enough. I ain't gonna say they don't know nothing. They don't know enough about anything
Right.
to be having a baby with somebody my age.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm mothering them, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
My little brothers. Okay. So how are you having a baby with somebody? It's, I may have even mentioned it on a podcast, but I was one of those people that was really rooting for Drea. Again, y'all know I do not watch no reality TV. When I say none, I mean I don't watch any of it. No housewives, no basketball wives, medicine wives. I ain't watching nobody's wife, okay? Because none of them emulate the type of wife that I want to be, so I don't watch them. But I knew somewhat of the kind of story and drama in Drea's background, and
Yes.
I felt like she had kind of pivoted from that.
Yes.
She had her mint swim. She was doing her own thing. A
Mint
lot of times I
Swim,
would see her.
she was like the
I
$10
would
million
see her.
woman at one point in time behind Mint Swim.
Yeah, I mean, Mint Swim is a great brand. I had seen her actually a couple of times in Atlanta at what's the name of that place? I can't think of the name of it, but Mr. Ruggs' place that was in Buckhead off of Far Road, because her and him are friends.
Oh, girl.
And so I was like, always like, there go Drea. She doing her thing, and she's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, beautiful woman.
Yes.
But now I'm kind of like, now, Miss Girl, you are showing that you are exactly who they painted you to be. The illustration was correct. You're a trash person. I'm sorry. No, that's not cool. That's not cool. I wonder how
You.
her son feels about it, and I wonder
Yes.
how his family feels about it. Because,
Yes.
like I said, you run into my 23-year-old babies, and we are going to be in the streets
Mm-hmm.
going at it
Mm-hmm.
hard.
Yeah, I definitely feel for her oldest son. And I can only imagine what Jalen Green's mother is thinking.
Hmm.
While you were bringing up the fact that he's been messing around with this 37, 38-year-old woman and is now pregnant by him, would you feel differently about the scenario if he had gotten a 22-year-old pregnant?
I'm going to look up Drea's age just to be. She's 39. She
Oh,
actually turned
39.
39 January of this year.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then right
she's
under that, they
close.
got a picture of Jalen. Jalen is 22. And like I said, he turned 22
She's gross.
February 9th of this year. If he had gotten someone pregnant his age, the only thing I would have said is best of luck because they still young. I mean, in addition to the fact of them being young, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Jalen is 22 years old.
Right.
He has a significant amount of money and
Yes.
notoriety. He just now started dipping his toes in the sand. And so he gonna do what we know he gonna do. He
Yeah.
gonna be around everybody that wants to be around, and he's gonna be doing his thing. And I feel like as a young man, as long as he's honest about that, then he's entitled to it. Don't break nobody's heart. Don't
Right.
hurt nobody in the process. Do your thing.
Yeah.
So I think that it is unfortunate that, I mean, I'm gonna just say how I feel about it. I think it's unfortunate that he's been trapped by
Yes.
this woman.
Yeah. I immediately was like, she trapped that little boy.
Mm-hmm. He's a little boy compared to her.
Yeah. Yeah. I know he's a legal adult, but he's a little boy. And my thing is, you have, as a 22-year-old who just signed a $40 million contract with the Houston Rockets, more money than you know what to do with at that age. I'm thinking, okay, you're playing basketball. This is your dream. You have reached your dreams professionally. You're young, you're attractive. All these little girls that you could have, that you can run off to a little private island with when you're in the NBA offseason, especially if you're strapping it up and just enjoying
Mm-hmm.
your young life and money and staying healthy and in shape to play this game that you love so much. In my mind, the future is bright and sunny. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. You have your whole life
Mm-hmm.
ahead of you. But now you are weighed down by this old ass bitch and a baby
God damn.
because you're an old
But you
ass
know what?
bitch.
I bet you his mama said it just like that. I know a black mama. I know she said it just like that.
I mean, would you? I can only, Drea pulled out every trick she can think of because you didn't want nothing that was young and that ain't popped out 2 kids already. She was pulling out every trick in the book. She was caving his stomach in. She was doing all of the things. Trapped his ass.
Like
Trapped his ass.
it's the money. It's nothing else because as a 39-year-old woman, what are you discussing? What type of like quality,
Mm-hmm.
in-depth, meaningful conversations could you
That's
possibly be having with a 21-year-old little boy?
that's what I
What
want
are
to
y'all
know.
talking about? Besides the amount of money that you may be able to go blow in, Saks or Louis Vuitton or Chanel or whatever, what else do y'all have to discuss? To the point that it became sexual in nature?
Raw dogging.
In addition to the fact that this is Drea, this your third baby daddy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, huh? So there was an interview that Drea did back in September with one of the writers from, or one of the bloggers from the Shade Room. And I think around this
I
time,
seen
just
this.
based on when Drea said she's due, which she said she's due in May, Drea had probably either just missed her period and was unsure if she was pregnant, or she knew where she was trying to take things.
You funny.
Because I did the counting down.
Oh,
Okay.
not you did the
She
math.
was knew where she was trying to take things with this $40 million 21-year-old little boy,
Say it.
and
Say
she
it.
was asked about if she wanted more kids, and she said she did, and which I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, not at all.
And she said, so the blogger was kind of like making it a pointed part of the conversation, like, oh, so your current boyfriend, would you have kids with him? And, she's like, well, or she's like, well, I mean, she kind of skipped over it, but what she said is, I'm not traditional. And
Mm.
I don't believe that you have to be in a relationship with someone to
Mm-hmm.
have a child together. And it's like, girl, you are 39 and you've done it twice. Are you stupid? I really think Drea was saying that because she knew where things were headed. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really believe Drea believed that in the back of her mind. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I remember correctly, I believe she was engaged to the football player that she has the second baby with.
Orlando Scandrick. Yep, he played
Mm-hmm.
for the Cowboys.
I couldn't remember his last name. Very nice looking guy. I thought the two of them looked amazing
Me too.
together.
I thought that was
Oh
forever.
God. Mm-hmm.
I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was forever.
But yeah, I don't believe that. You want to be. You're 39. You have 2 kids, 2 baby daddies, and you mean to tell me you want to have a third, but you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody? Like, girl, who you fooling? Because it ain't the 37-year-olds in the room. It ain't the 38 and the 39-year-olds in the room. We know better.
Well, and so now I'm wondering, okay, is there a reason why? Because she was dating another football player for some time before she got with this Jalen Green
Oh
and
yes, his name started with a T. I can't think of the
Trevon,
name.
Trevon something,
It could have been something like that.
Tyrone
Yeah,
Tyrod or something.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah,
Was that him?
I think
Yeah.
so. I don't know basketball or football.
You keep talking, friend. I'm gonna Google it.
So I'm wondering between Orlando and him if they were kind of catching wind of something, and that's why the relationships didn't like work out or continue. I mean,
Okay,
Drake.
we were correct. She was in a relationship with Tyrod Taylor back in 2020.
So
He plays for the Giants.
okay, so and
We
I'm
know our stuff, man.
this
We
is
know our
just
stuff.
speculation. I am just speculating and guessing and letting my brain do the
Allegedly,
yeah,
y'all.
this is all
Allegedly.
alleged. I mean, she got a baby out of Orlando. So, I don't know. And this is someone that is an entrepreneur and has money in her own right. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what motives she's got. But if you were with Orlando and you got a baby out of that situation, you've secured some child support for a good amount
Mm-hmm.
of time because their kid, I
Mm-hmm.
think, is only 7. You date another football player, and for whatever reason, nothing materializes. That's just a relationship. We all have them. You date somebody, doesn't work out, you move on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you discuss having a kid with him? And he said, no, thank you. Because in this interview, you said you did want more kids. But as far as that being what, like, the result of a relationship or defines a relationship, you don't care about that. You just want your baby. Did these grown men say, fuck that? And so you
Mm.
found this young, dumb, and full of cum young man that was just going to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's go
I'll
have
shoot
on the
a little,
baby.
right.
Let's
I'll
go
shoot a
have on
little
the
look.
baby, you know, and you
Mm-hmm.
rich, you got your own money. No, but because I don't feel like those were Drea's motives. You mean to tell me you were just head over heels in love with this man and y'all decided to make a baby together, or did you trap him?
Right. Right.
There's no way you can tell me that you had a conversation with a 21-year-old and was like, "Do you want to have a baby?" No, you was messing around, you got pregnant, and he's stuck now. You were using all of your sexual prowess, your body, the fact that you are successful, and you were using all of that to lure this young man in. There is a young man that has been on my line, and I told him, you are very sweet. You are the perfect gentleman.
Mm.
But the only thing I can think about anytime I think about you is the fact that you would be the perfect boyfriend for some young woman in her 20s.
Mm.
And
Mm.
it makes me look at you like, oh, like if I was 23, 24, I would be head over heels for you. That is how I feel. Like
Right.
you're literally adorable because you are showing up as like the perfect gentleman, and you are trying to like show this 37-year-old
I
that
say his mama raising that young man right. I ain't mad at
that's
it.
what. And so for me it's just like, at my big age, I can't even do nothing with you, sweetheart, because
I could never take somebody that age serious. And, part of it is Drea, again, she's a beautiful woman. And,
mhm,
I don't know if this young man knew who Drea was, because I don't know if my brothers would even know who Drea, if I say Drea, if they would know who she is. But if you saw her, she looked like somebody. She looked like somebody I want to know who that is.
right.
But once that young man approached you, because I'm a hope he approached you and you didn't approach him. But if that young man approached you, you should have just said, "Sweetie, I have a son your age.
Yeah,
Best of
like,
luck."
and that's, I'm like that. So what? Like, that didn't stop you? Like, there was no, in no time span from when you first met this young man and your kitty cat felt a tingle, you didn't stop and think at one point like, I have a son his age. I don't know how I would feel if it became serious and I had to meet his mom. I
Mm,
like, you're not
mm,
concerned about the, I mean, she can't be concerned about the optics of anything because she left her son by himself for days on end when he was 6 years old in a dirty,
mm,
nasty apartment while she was gallivanting in Miami. So like, optics are
mm.
not anything that Drea has ever cared about. You, like you said, we've been rooting for her, and you would think after, almost 20 years of thought and bopping that there would be some maturity and some growth there. Where is your integrity?
You
I
know what? That just made me think about the trauma that has been induced by this predator. Because
mm,
that's predatory behavior and the trauma that she is inducing on not only Jalen, but let's just think about her son. Because I remember a couple of years ago, Drea was showing her taking her son to college. I don't remember where he
I
went. Can you
somewhere in
imagine
Atlanta.
being that young man and
No.
everybody? Because it's like, how social media is. They are vile and they are cruel and they are nasty. When they was going to Drea's page, leaving comments, I guarantee they was on her son page being
And,
mean and
and
spiteful
messy.
as well.
Oh yeah.
And now he has to be on a college campus dealing with looks and stares and whispers because his mama is a predator.
Mm-hmm. And it's
That is
very
so
predatory,
unfortunate.
because everyone's
That
like,
is
well,
so
men and
unfortunate.
men do it all the time, but no one
And they're
calls them
predators
no,
as well.
no, this is predatory behavior, and Drea doesn't get a pass because she's a woman. No, what are you
Mm-hmm.
doing? Like, I couldn't even imagine being laid up like that way,
Canoodling.
and y'all was fucking. This wasn't no one off. This wasn't like a one off.
Oh,
Like,
baby, they was getting it
yeah,
in.
like, we love the story of the older woman and the hot young man, but not that young.
Yeah.
You know,
So that begs the question: what is the? And I'm sure there's not going to be like a certain age, but at what point is it acceptable versus just predatory? What is the age range, be it men or women, that a man can talk to a woman, date a woman, or vice versa, and not be looked at as?
So if Jalen was 25 and had been in the NBA for a strong 4 years and had been dating some girls and was like, I'm sick of these young hoes. They stupid. They not what I need right now. I need somebody that's focused, not volatile, ain't gonna mess my head up while I'm focused on this game. And he crosses paths with Drea. And let's say Drea's 35. There's a 10-year age gap. I'm gonna mind my business. Because 25, you're well past 21. You know, is there going to be some immaturity and youth there? Yes. But if you've set out to date someone that is older than you because of your preference and what you're looking for and what you want, I'll allow it.
Well, see, I think it's important that you mentioned, first of all, being 25. And so because you've been in things for a little bit longer, particularly something like the NBA, when you said he was looking for someone who wasn't immature, volatile, and wasn't going to have his head on a swivel when he needed to be focused on the game. See, now that is something that would come with age and maturity, particularly in a professional sports league where you do have to really be focused on what it is you're doing and not be getting mixed up. It brings me back to that interview Shannon Sharp just did with Johnny Manziel. You have to have a certain level of your mind completely focused on your job. The NBA is fun and cool and all, but that is actually your job, and they ain't paying you a little bit of money. So if that had been the case and he had been of age and been in the league for a bit and, like you said, knew kind of more of what he wanted in a relationship, and he had done the things with the younger girls his age, and it just was, then okay, maybe it would have made a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
But this boy he haven't even, I just feel like Drea saw opportunity and she snatched it. Yep. She didn't care who it was and what it looked like. She heard 40 million. Yeah. I can get a piece of that tonight.
Yeah, and he dumb.
He's immature.
Like, she definitely got pregnant, was like, got him. Like them sneakers. Got him. She definitely she did a little. I don't even know
if I want to say he's dumb, but I'll definitely say he's immature, because you think you know everything when you grown, okay, 18, and your ass are grown. You don't know shit. You don't have no idea what the world and life is about. You just don't.
How much you want to bet his mama ain't even know he was messing with her ass?
Well, she probably had to know, because it was all over they have been photographed, and the age difference was brought up when they were photographed. So I'm sure somebody said something to his mama. And if being a black mama, maybe she asked him about it. What you doing with this oldest? That's you people, some of you messing with this older lady. All right, now you have a good time, but don't you get yourself in nothing you can't get yourself out of. I'm just you know how them talks go.
Yeah.
And then you got to go home and tell your mama that you having a baby by this same older woman. Like, I almost feel, and I know I shouldn't, but I almost feel sorry for him.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because,
and it's like, Drea is, it shows her level of immaturity and lack of growth as well, for you to be 39 saying that you want to have another baby, but you don't necessarily want to be in a relationship. You haven't seen anything with the two boys that you have, the struggles and the strain of being a single parent, not having their father in the home. And you mean to tell me you want to create more life with someone who is not mature enough to be the type of father that children need? And that's not a dig at Jalen, but it's just, at 22, somebody who's on the road playing a professional sport and who has access and money to anything they want at any time of the day, do you really think he's going to be the type of parent that a little girls would need? Because she's having a girl, but it's unfair, and it's unfair to even, have these super high expectations of him, because that young man should be out here living his life and having the time of his life. And you want him to be, well, according to you don't want him to be in the house with you, parenting, bonding, being a family. You don't want to get that for your daughter. How can somebody even say that?
Well, she said that, and then you think about the circumstances under which she's being brought into the world. There's a
Yeah, it's
correlation there.
unfortunate. Mm-hmm.
I don't really need to be in a relationship with the whoever, but I am gonna get pregnant, and if we don't have to like be together to co-parent. But yeah, I got you in that $40 million though.
And this is I have to do it. But when you have a woman like that who is having children, I don't want to say, I mean, she's a mother, but I'm gonna just say when you have a woman like that who's having children and has that mindset, even if she's lying to the interviewer and saying that, the fact that you would verbally say that out loud and now it can be repeated, what expectation does that set for your sons?
Yeah.
This is why navigating the dating space is a bunch of bull, because there are young men out there who have not had to rise to a higher level of expectation because they have women like that raising them, and they think they can just go out here, sow their seed, not be present, and just co-parent. What? Why would anybody want to go into a situation co-parenting? If you go into a situation in a relationship or in a marriage and things don't work out, that's one thing. But to go into it already broken, why would you do that?
She just robbed that man like of his opportunity to fall in love with a woman and have their first kid together. I mean, I just, because you wanted a baby and it needed to be with a rich nigga, like.
And like I said, I don't understand why Drea.
I bet you the men in her age group know she ran through and don't want her. And
that's what I was gonna say. Drea, I feel like even if they know that, Drea is a bad. That girl is fine. She got body. She looks good. You literally could have had any man you wanted.
But them inside,
I don't care how ran through you are. Since you just wanted a baby, since it wasn't about a relationship, you just wanted a baby. Why didn't you choose someone who was your age?
Because they didn't want
you could have had
they not having no baby with her. A grown man with some sense ain't having no baby with Drea, but a 21-year-old dummy is. And that's why that is the way that is.
I just think, this is one of those things that it is one of those things that could continue to be passed down in generations as trauma, brokenness, because you have this woman teaching by example two young men and also now a daughter that this is the standard. This is okay. This very low level bottom feeder, rearing mentality is okay.
Not bottom feeder.
Have I told a lie? Because one thing about it, I might tell you a joke.
You have
but
not
I ain't
told
told
a lie.
you a lie.
Okay? You have not told a lie.
Yeah. This is why at 37 I come across, these men talking about, they don't want children. Y'all know I've been back on the Hinge app. Well, I was back on the Hinge app. The girl just had to delete it. I don't even know why I even add myself back to that damn app. But it takes about 7 to 10 business days, and I'm cool on it. Okay, I see these men, on there, got children, don't want no more children. I automatically got to X you out because you don't want no more kids. Why? Because you got 3 and 4 by 3 and 4 women.
And why?
And now you want this, you want this traditional life, and you want just like it makes me wonder what happened to you in your childhood or your youth or even early adolescent adulthood where you thought that was okay, and that once you got to the big ripe age of 35, 40, that a woman would see you as like a viable partner. Like,
you couldn't even stick around for the other women that got your kids. Why I think you're gonna stick around with me?
Exactly.
Like, no.
I want us to break these generational curses, and I want us to break out of this. Everybody doesn't want to be married. Then why are you having children? It's fine if you don't want to be married, but why are you okay bringing a child into a situation that is not complete?
Well, the way you're going about it, though, is just I don't, just the way she chose to go about it. And then, to announce it on International Women's Day, and then in the message to be like, take your time, the world can be rough. You think that people criticizing the fact
You
that
part of the reason the world rough.
you are the literal definition of what's rough about the world, because you're out here out
Yeah.
yourself and you're out here trying to secure another dollar. So you sat on some 21-year-old and you trapped him with the kid, since you want to talk about the world is rough. What exactly did you think was going to be said about you when it did come out that you were pregnant by a 22-year-old? What did you thought everyone was going to turn their head and mind their business? And then I'm looking at the people in her comments that are congratulating her. Oh, you
Oh,
got
she
your
turned the comments
girl.
back on. She turned the comments back on. Somebody told me that she turned them off.
I think she just turned them off, but I seen the comments before she turned them off. And there were
Okay.
some people that were like, "Congratulations, you got your girl." Da 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 da. And it's like, yes, let's give this pregnant woman all of the well wishes so that she has a healthy pregnancy and she can bring her baby earthside safely and healthy. But
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
I'm not congratulating that behavior.
Yeah, let's
I
also address the predator in the room. He ain't even an elephant. Let's address the predator in the
Yes,
room.
this is gross. What you did was gross, and you knew it was gross. That's why you was acting funny with your posts and how you was doing this, that, and the third. You knew if you really wanted to keep it quiet and you really didn't want any scandal surrounding this, you could have been like Kylie Jenner and disappeared, because we still don't know we only know what she looked like after she had Stormy, when she was pregnant with Stormy.
Well, there's two things with that. And what I also want to address is, because I don't know what kind of I'm gonna come back to this. I don't know what kind of friends Drea got, but the friends that I got, baby, they would have chewed me up. I would
Tugging
have
on
been
that
afraid to
wig,
come
you
to the
crazy?
internet.
Ugh.
But I think part of the reason that Drea had no choice but to announce it, and probably just chose International Women's Day because she thought that would, like I said, soften the blow, is because Drea got a lot of brand deals. And I saw her, I followed Drea before any of this. I followed her. And I saw this morning that she was posting an ad on her story for Fabletics. So when you've signed a deal, okay, now speaking from experience,
Yeah.
you've signed this contract with this company. So you are already bound to complete the work that you said that you would do. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't have no choice but to announce it, because she was going to still have to show up and promote this brand
Yep.
so she could get this, she could, get the money, or she
Yep.
could fulfill the contract that she was in. She didn't have no choice. Unless she wanted to get that money back, which I doubt she wanted to do. So yeah, she on there this morning with her little, and she was on there. She had a little jumpsuit on with the belly out and boob hanging, and she had another like one piece jumpsuit on with pockets in two different colors. So yeah, she got contractual obligations that she has to fulfill. In addition to the fact, if it's really about the money, because that's what we saying. She saw Jalen Green $40 million contract. Drea knows she can also get, if the brands want to touch her at this point, she can also get some more contracts, maternity type
Yep.
contracts.
Yep.
So, and again, that's if they want to touch her, because some brands may be like, it's a bit of a scandal
The
surrounding this
optics
pregnancy
don't
based
look
on her
good,
age.
honey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. The brand is going to, if I was a brand, I would be thinking, if we do this deal with Drea and she posts us, are people going to then come to our page and say, you're supporting a predator?
Mm-hmm.
Da, 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 da,
Mm-hmm.
da. So, it's a bit up in the air, but I'm sure she could get it. She can get some coins behind it for
So
sure.
that brings up a good question. And I think we talked a little bit about it, and I kind of gave my opinion on maybe if there was a 10-year age gap, but what constitutes predatory behavior? And how do the higher ups in the
Mm,
in the people that are
mm.
sitting at the table, what are they discussing? What's the question that's coming up?
Hmm.
I mean, Drea's never been like a symbol of motherhood, so I'm hard pressed to think that any maternity brands are going to look to her as someone that's like peddling their products and everything.
Well, the reason a maternity brand, I would think, would look to her at this point is because she does have so many eyes on her, pregnant and otherwise. But if
Mm,
with the amount of followers that Drea got, even if 10% of the people didn't mind, and the 5% of that 10% was also pregnant, she could influence them to buy into whatever it is she's promoting. That equals dollars. The dollars add up and makes you, so I don't know, but it's, does the brand also want to take on that same thing? I don't know.
mm-mm. So, if you
I
were
don't
his
know.
mama and you found out what happened, what would you do?
Well, if If I was his mama, we still be squaring up. Because what if his mom is the same age as Drea? Because Drea got a son his age. So if his mama is the same age or even a couple of years older, you gonna have to see me. And I mean that. You gonna have to see me. It's difficult though, because at the end of the day, her son is still grown, and we don't know that, Jalen could be over the moon about this. He
Right,
could be
right.
ecstatic. And so as a mother, you have your son who is excited about having this baby, although you don't necessarily agree with the circumstances. Do you want to get into it with the baby mama and then create drama, with your son and his child's mother at this point?
Right.
And I also wonder, are him and Drea in a relationship, or is she just not saying that? Because even when people were whispering about, is Drea pregnant? Is Drea pregnant? She was with him. She was showing things that showed that she was with him.
Yeah, they had been.
So if y'all not in a relationship, what are y'all doing? Just hanging out, having babies,
fucking. That's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing. For real.
So I wonder, because Drea has a lot of she has a lot of known industry friends, and I wonder what they're saying to her. Like, I don't know if you remember, what was that girl on? Was she on some BET show? I think she might have even taken over 106 in Park when Free and AJ left, or when Roxy and Terrence J left. Her name was Jaleesa. And she spoke with a bit of an accent, like she might have been like Spanish.
Yes, I know who you're talking
That's
about.
One of her best friends. What are your friends saying to you?
I'm curious.
If I was pregnant if I was 39 and I was pregnant by a 21, 22-year-old,
we wouldn't be friends.
What would you say to me? Say again?
We wouldn't be friends.
You would disown me as a friend?
I definitely you looking funny in the light. You're looking real funny in the light, and I don't know that I have it in me to say, you go ahead, girl. Older men do it all the time. Go ahead, get yours. My support wouldn't even go that far. I'd be like, girl, what you do? Why you want to fuck on a young nigga like that? Like, for real? What is he saying? Like, I wouldn't. I could not stand beside that, and I just couldn't. When you see some wrongdoing happening, you're just as bad as the person committing the wrongdoing when you don't say shit about it. And to me, in this instance, this is wrongdoing. As charming as the little 25-year-old boy is that is interested in me, I could never. I'm always like, how am I going to tell my friends that, like, I'm dating a 25-year-old? Those are the things that, like, I make up scenarios in my head, and then I'm like, I couldn't do it. So, like, I know Dre is not even sitting here thinking long and hard about these kinds of decisions, because if you were, as a 39-year-old already mother of two with a son the same age as this young man, you wouldn't have did what you did. And I don't know what friends of, like, what kind of friendships do you have with your friends where maybe they are going to stick beside you and watch you kind of make these moves and not say anything about it?
If it was me and I had a friend who was 39 and was having a baby with someone his age, I wouldn't want to necessarily disown my friend, but also I would definitely create some distance and space.
There you go. Yeah.
And I can't be as tapped in. I do wish you the best. Like you said, I really do hope that you have a safe delivery and a smooth pregnancy. And I hope that, mom and baby are doing well after delivery. But it speaks to your character. And maybe the friendship that I thought that we had was not based on the character that I thought you had.
Yep. There it is.
So I think I just have to create a little bit of distance there. Still wish you the best. Don't wish any ill will on you. But I think it would be best if I kind of decenter myself from someone who is looked at as a predator. Who want to be friends with that? Yeah. Looked at as a predator. And it's sometimes, I don't know what Drea's friends are telling her. Now, I have seen 2 or 3 friends that she reposted on her story that seem to be incredibly supportive. Even one friend, it was posted on the blog, going so far as to make reference to young boys being at her and not realizing how old she was and tagging Drea and like, oh my gosh, this made me think of you. And Drea reposted it like it was fucking funny. You still don't get it, do you?
I'm about to go to her.
Um, but damn, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I don't think I would be able to have as if we were close, or even if we weren't. I think I just have to create some distance. Maybe I wouldn't necessarily unfollow you on social media, but I just can't be tapped into something like that.
I didn't see
Because
anything that her friends were posting, but
oh no, this was like 2 days ago. But one of the blogs, I think Shade Room, which no, maybe it's Neighborhood Talk because I don't follow Shade Room. I can't remember, but yeah, one of them reposted what the friend had said, and Drea reposting it, and apparently it was posted a couple of days before Drea even announced her pregnancy. So they screenshot that and was holding it in the archives, waiting just in case this hoe is pregnant. We're gonna hold on to this because we're gonna bring this reference back. Um,
oh,
but I think that
was it Teray Hart?
I don't remember the name, but if you
Okay.
show it to me, I could tell you if that was it because I remember what the post looked like.
Because Teray was the one that was like, you can mind your business,
Oh
right?
no 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 no.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Oh, you
No.
said
It
this
was
was
actually
before. It was before she actually announced.
well the friend posted it and Drea reposted it before she announced it on Women's Day, but the blog had screenshotted. So once Drea did announce, they waited a day or two before they posted that. Like, oh yeah, here's what Drea's friend said. Just dang it, I keep losing my train of thought. Oh, I think for me, because I am Drea's age and I have brothers who are Jalen's age, it hit a little bit different for me. Like I said, I was 13 when my brother was born. And
I was
I've
13. I
always
was
been
10.
I've always been I don't want to say a mother, but I would say like a mother type figure. Like I said, I'm still not raising. I'm trying to think of the right word, but guiding. I'm still guiding my brothers through
Yes.
life.
Yes. Same.
They still come to me for advice. They still, whisper to me about things that maybe necessarily they don't want my parents to know. Um,
Yeah, they
and
come
just
to
knowing
you
their
in confidence.
right, and they come to me because they are assuming that Big Sis got a level of wisdom. They ask me advice about girls.
Right.
So the fact that how can I take someone seriously, or as Passion said, how can I sit on somebody that's asking me about advice about girls because they are unsure what this may mean with the girl that they were dating or talking to, or how to approach or navigate this situation with this girl. This just weird, and I don't care what Drea's friends say. I don't care which way you slice it. It is weird and it is predatory behavior.
Yes, it is.
That's just what it is. We said the same thing when we talked about Marcus Houston and his young wife.
Yep.
It's predatory, and they married. Still predatory because at some point they weren't married and he still was approaching her. It's just I think it's going to be rather messy. Can you imagine? Okay, because Drea hasn't shown us that she can maintain a relationship, or she's told us that she don't even want a family or a relationship with someone that she has children with. When her and Jalen, if they should begin to fall out, how messy that's going to be.
And she'll make it difficult. She'll make it difficult. She will absolutely make it difficult. And again, like I said, she kind of like robbed him of, his opportunity to kind of fall in love, find love, with the young woman. And maybe
has he dated anybody with notoriety in the past?
I don't know. I won't say she's not notorious, but she used to date Christian Combs. Her name was Bria. I think her name's Bria Hicks. She's a model. She was
Jalen dated Bria.
Yeah, and Bria was a model for Mint Swim at one point in time.
No. Pasha. She's one of those girls. Drea is really one of those girls.
Nasty.
She had Bria working for her for Mint Swim. Bria was dating Jalen. And now Drea having a baby by him.
Nasty.
Wow.
Nasty work. Like you don't you You a different type of chick. You a different type
Have
of
you
chick.
ever had a friend that pursued somebody that you had previously dated?
Not so. I wouldn't. So the thing, I guess I wouldn't call these girls friends when
Mm-hmm.
I think about it. Um. Let me think here. I went to this technology thing when I was 15 years old. I met this guy and we were like phone buddies. You know, you could call him pen pals, but we would always like talk on the phone. And
Mm-hmm.
he lived in New York and we stayed in touch, you know, forever. Like we'll chat every once in a while on like social media, but we're not, I wouldn't say like we're in touch or anything. But I went to New York for New Year's 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago. I mean, this was a long time ago. And me and my friend and these other two girls, and the two girls, it was four of us, me, my friend, my other friend, her homegirl. Um, Even though I was in a relationship at the time, he was still my friend and we were still cool. Like, we nothing ever really could happen romantically because we were long
Mm-hmm.
distance. And there
Mm-hmm.
was always like a little bit of a flirtation there, but nothing had ever like romantically really happened between us just because timing and it just didn't work out. I guess when we ended up meeting up with him and his friends and kind of hanging out, him and my non-brown homegirl took a liking to one another
Mm.
and started communicating. And over spring break, him and his friend went to Mexico, and her homegirl went to Mexico. And I guess they had like this little like trip thing situation behind my back. I
What?
definitely had words for him. And he was like, well, you had a boyfriend. So, like, you had a boyfriend. So it's not like, I was doing anything behind your back or incorrect. And like, sure, yeah, I got a boyfriend, but you and I also have history and you know that there's always been interest there. And you can fuck around with any person, but you choose like my homegirl. Like it was really
Right.
grimy. And so, and I let the girl know, like, I know that was messing around with him and that you went on a trip with him. And I think that's really fucked up. And her and I have not spoken
Hmm.
ever since.
Wow.
Hmm. But is this steamer talking about they on their way? Oh no, they behind schedule.
That's crazy.
Mm.
So the only thing that I've had happen that was kind of in that same realm was I wasn't even dating this guy, but we were, I guess, hanging out. He liked me, I liked him, but something was always just not right. And he ended up being somebody who's just a friend, a
Okay.
really, really good friend. But before we got to a place of we're just friends, we never done anything, never done anything sexually or anything like that. We would just hang out all the time. Um, but before we got to the place that we were just friends, I did have a very close girlfriend pursue him, and he pursued her, and they slept together.
Okay.
And I was pissed. I was pissed because again, at that point, we weren't at a stage where we knew we were just really good friends, and so because her and I were so close, she knew how I felt. So if things like, well, you weren't doing anything with him, yeah, I wasn't doing anything with him because like I'm not doing anything with somebody like just
Right.
it wasn't. We fell out behind it.
Wow.
We fell out behind it. I really when I approached her about it, I had another mutual friend with us, and that mutual friend had to pull me away from this situation because I almost ripped her head off in a restaurant.
What?
And I was
No
literally shaking. I was
way.
so mad. I was literally shaking when I got in my car. But that is one of the reasons why I just going forward, I will not have. I think I'm a better judge of character at 37 than I was at that age, where I
Okay.
will not have women around me who would do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly don't want to engage in any way with a man who would do something like that to me, and I will not
Oh, did
allow
you
a
address him?
man. Oh, I addressed the both of them. Oh, absolutely. I addressed him, and I went for a very long time without speaking. And let me tell you what actually made us start speaking again is the unfortunate part. And why I'm mentioning this is I will never, ever in my life, that was the very last time, I will never, ever in my life allow a friendship to be broken because of something romantic or sexual in nature between two people. I don't want to be in a three-way. This is not one of those. But what ended up happening is the girl ended up passing away,
Oh no.
and she passed away before her and I could reconcile. We were starting to get there for reconciliation, but it hadn't all the way happened. And that is what made him and I start to talk again, just about the situation and how things had transpired and how bad we both felt, and him realizing that he was wrong, and him sharing some things with me that she had said about, wishing that she had done things differently because
Mm.
of, the friendship and the bond that her and I had. um all that aside,
Goodness, girl.
Drea just grind me all the way around because I certainly didn't know that about
Uh-huh.
the model working for her dating Jalen Green. um
Yep.
I would say, girl, I hope it's worth it, but maybe for 40 million for her it is. Maybe that's her price. Highest bidder. I don't know. Yeah.
It's just I feel bad for everyone involved, and God bless that little baby, because she is being brought
Mm.
into a very weird situation. Some
Mm-hmm.
women are just not good women, and it's sad.
Say that, friend.
I'm sad to see Jalen be a victim of that
Yeah,
as young as
for
he
sure.
is. He
Mm-hmm.
probably doesn't even know that he's
Mm.
a victim.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, he's a
Can you
grown
imagine,
man.
like,
He chose to sleep with her. Yeah, if my crush from when I was a kid was offering it up and caving my stomach in.
now, friend, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Ugh, the whole thing just make my mind just swirl, because while in the public, some people could say he's a grown man, to his mama, that's still her baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just can't imagine maybe being so pissed with Drea, but also wanting to be there for your son and try to be happy with him and for him. Like, it's just a difficult situation for everybody involved. And,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, like, how involved will his family be? How involved will his mom get to be a grandma? Like, do they even live? Like, is Drea in LA still? I don't even know where she's at or where his family is from. Child, I just don't believe in bringing kids into brokenness. And it sounds like for Drea to make the statement that she did on that interview, she's a broken woman still.
Yes.
She hasn't
Yes.
healed. She's a broken woman bringing a child into a broken situation now for the third time. So, best of luck to all parties involved.
You just said
But
something right there.
I think that the conversation around predatory behavior and men and women with the same behavior as Drea gotta be spoken about and taken into account more, because I don't give a damn that the law sees him as an adult. He's still a child, and she manipulated
Yep.
and she pursued someone who was not of the same thought process, mind, and maturity as her, and it's unfair.
Very unfair. I agree with everything
So,
you're saying.
yeah.
And one last thing about predators. What do you think about the recent allegations that came out about Diddy and that directly named Carisha?
Oh, what was it, girl? I ain't been tapped into that. Tell me to give me the tea. Spill it.
So there was a young man that was called in to do some production and I think make some music with Diddy, and it turned into one of his little parties,
Mm.
and there
Mm.
was some coercion and drugging and activity taking place that was unwanted. There's pics and vids, and Carisha and her cousin are in the pictures and videos, and yeah, she has now been roped into this.
Okay, so I did hear something about her cousin being involved, but I didn't know that she was also involved.
Mm.
So the young man is asserting that he came there, they drugged him, and then they took sexual advantage of him.
I believe they tried.
All three of them, or just Diddy and Carisha and her cousin happened to be there at some point along the way?
So the dude was there, and I think that they were trying to like encourage him to kind of mess with, Carisha's cousin or whatever, but he wasn't paying it any attention, kind of just brushing her off. So then he excused himself to go to the restroom. Carisha cousin busts in the bathroom, and like goes down on him and like forces herself onto him. And so he kind of fights her off, and like she's kind of following him throughout the house or wherever they're at, trying to like get with him, like force herself on him. And then I think there was an incident where they were drinking and I think they were using drugs or something had been spiked. And
Mm.
then, Diddy had made the introduction between this producer guy and Cuba Gooding Jr. And it was almost as if Diddy was kind of passing off the dude to Cuba Gooding Jr. for him to have his way. Yeah,
Oh
very
my
weird stuff.
God.
Very, 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 very weird stuff. And I just feel bad for
I
his
didn't know
children.
any of this. No.
Mm-hmm.
I think Carisha's done though. I think this is the nail in the coffin. The City Girls album flopped, but JT's actually going on tour
She is. I
alone.
saw that.
hmm and I know Miami came out with that single like around her birthday or something, but it didn't really take. And I think that the nail in the coffin will be her association with Diddy. I
Yep.
don't think that P and I forget his partner's name, but I don't think that they will want to continue to do business with her. I don't know what of course I don't know what the contract is between City Girls and Quality Control. But I can definitely see them continuing to work with JT if she even still wants to be signed to that label still.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see them really, don't nobody want to touch nothing like that.
No, they don't.
That's
And
why like you were saying, it may be difficult for Drea to land maternity deals just because of the age gap situation. But I don't think Carisha is going to, like, obviously the podcast now is no more because that was under Diddy and Revolt TV.
Yep.
I don't see it for her. What else does she have going on? I don't know.
You know what I feel bad about? I spent a lot of time feeling like JT was the problem between the group.
Mm,
And while I will say JT does have a really negative stank attitude
mm,
that translated a lot in interview, it just translated on social media, interviews, pictures,
mm-hmm,
just the way that she operated.
mm-hmm,
Now at first it's just like you're in this jacked up ass relationship with Lil Uzi Vert. Your counterpart is over here, buying this, that, and the third, and on this yacht, that yacht, this country, that country with Diddy, with this billionaire. And I'm thinking that maybe her, you know, that the rift, the visible rift between the two is maybe there's some jealousy on JT's end, and maybe JT is a little
mm,
unhappy with how things are going for her because they are not like Carisha. And the whole time JT over here like I don't want nothing to do with that shit over there because she knew it wasn't right.
mm-hmm,
And so
mm-hmm,
I'm just gonna give JT her flowers right now and offer my
mm-hmm.
apology to thinking the worst of her when she probably was over there protecting herself and her situation with her and her man.
Because it's been like people have said, where's JT? Why y'all don't never hang out together? And JT be like, Carisha got her own friends. We don't all the time have to be together, but you can't tell me she didn't know what was going
And
on. You
Lil
can't
Uzi
tell me
was
she
probably
ain't been
like,
in the
"You ain't
room
going on no boat on no island with Diddy and his
with
people.
him.
You ain't doing that."
Right. Right. Because this is what happens when you hang out with him. You can't tell me she ain't been in the room at least one time and saw some weird shit and
It
said,
said no, thank you. It said no, thank.
mm-mm.
I'm a real Miami bitch, and I don't want to be a part of none of that. But if you
Mm-hmm.
look
And
at,
now Miami didn't even put her cousin into it. Whoo, girl. Mm-mm-mm.
yeah, I
See, when
mean,
stuff like that happens, that's how people end up getting jammed up and the truth end up coming out because you get somebody like a cousin who don't have money, who's not affiliated in any type of industry, who really just got to save themselves because they will not do no time for nobody because they ain't got the coin to get out of it and hire the biggest, best attorney. People like that sing like a canary, and then the whole thing comes crashing down.
mm-hmm, yep.
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, I thought that situation was going. Well, I didn't think it was going to start and stop with Cassie. Obviously,
Mm,
that was the tip of the iceberg that kind of has led to
mhm.
everything else. But damn, so I mean, it seems to me like this is the year that a lot of stuff is about to come out.
Hit the fan.
Lots of stuff is about to hit the fan for sure. And
Mm.
I don't know, maybe Drea was like, let me hurry up and
This
get
the
my
this the
little bullshit out the way before the conversation turned to other people and not me. I don't know, but
Well, I think This the quietest I ever heard Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't made a damn peep. I did see he was photographed going to dinner with his sons.
Mm-hmm.
But he ain't made a peep. So
Yep.
yeah, I think he got enough money. I think as it stands right now, Diddy has enough money to be set and straight for the remainder of time. But his reputation has been damaged in such a way
Yep.
that I don't think he'll ever recover from this.
No. Oh
Mm-mm.
no, it's over. Like
Even if your industry friends wanted to hang out with you, like even if they are still hanging out with you,
it's
they
in
will not be
private.
seen with you. They will not be photographed with you. They don't want nobody to know they talking to you, hanging out with you. They cannot big you up or shout out to Diddy. They can't do that no more. Mm-mm.
My
Mm-mm.
like settle all of your debts. Get step down from whatever you have to step down.
Oh, he done already had to do that. They forced him out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, make sure you've satisfied all your contracts and paid everybody that has to be paid. Get all of that. Sell however many properties you need to. Get all your ducks in a row and go sit down somewhere because you are done. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
You're done. Like
Yeah.
you can't even be on anybody's board. You can't be anybody's CEO. You can't run any companies. Nobody is going to put money in your pocket. And you are, persona non grata. Nobody wants to touch you or be around you. So you can't even work with anybody doing anything because you're a cancer, unfortunately, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
go.
Mm-hmm.
So
It feels like a Black's Jeffrey Epstein saga.
yes.
Where he is Jeffrey Epstein.
Yep, and they named someone that he works closely with as his Ghislaine Maxwell that would scope out some shit for him.
No.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
I wonder, is that the person that Cassie had mentioned in her deposition and stuff when she was saying that like the person was like his executive assistant, but like she would like try to help. She eventually tried to help Cassie get away. And I believe she either quit or lost her job. It was somebody in Cassie's story that kind of I could see fitting that persona. But oh, the Predators, they are crumbling down in 2024, and I'm for it. I'm all here for it. So that's
You
that
are
on that. I
funny.
enjoyed this conversation with you today. This was a great return episode after my girl came back from Barcelona.
Yes, it was. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the news is newsing, and then other times we don't have nothing to talk about. But baby, there was some shit that went down this past
Mm-hmm.
week. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
always
Mm-hmm.
good to chat with you and catch up, my friend.
So what do you have planned for the rest of the week? I know you said Stanley Steamer on their way to your house. Sound like you're doing some spring cleaning.
I have been doing some spring cleaning in part because it's almost springtime, but my mom and my aunt and my cousin will be here to visit me on Wednesday. And they are
Okay.
all staying here at my place. So, then my
Okay.
mom will white glove it. So I had to make sure it's, spick and span up in here. So Stanley Steamer will be here. I have a Bulls game later I have to go to for work. So that should be,
Okay.
a cute little Monday night situation. And then, yeah, I go into the office tomorrow.
I have a Bulls game I have to go to for work. Oh, what a life. You better live it, girl.
I'm trying. I'm tired. Okay. Like, I want to come home and like fold up and curl up with my man, but right now it's just the animals. So it's okay. So I'll be, really spending these next couple days getting my crib ready, like, ready for my guests and stuff. I already put the little gift bags
Okay.
together. So be on the lookout for that content. Put some cute little gift bags
Okay.
together.
I'm gonna have my eagle eye on it.
I wish that they were sponsored by everyone I purchased from, but also it's going to be a very cute budget gift bag content video as well. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay.
Should be fun.
Well, sounds good, friend.
What about you? What you doing this week?
Same old.
Okay.
Same old. I am gonna try to get some more stuff. Even though I wasn't posting, I was still getting content. So like the other day, I put a little reel together that was probably like a week and a half, 2 weeks old. So I'll probably catch up on posting. Some stuff, and I've already started making some plans for Atlanta next weekend, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, trying to go ahead and close out. I did put, like, when I say I'm going to be pitching, when second quarter starts April 1st, I already have like 2 written out pitches. Like, everybody will get a different type of pitch based on what it is I'm trying to do with them. So I got that together. I need to update my spreadsheets for my content spreadsheets. Girl, I've made this a whole thing. Like, I got 2 different spreadsheets of like content that I've posted, when I posted it, what platform I posted it, the time, the day that I posted it, the views, the likes, the shares it got, versus another spreadsheet that says, collaborations that I've done, when I'm supposed to have them posted, how much I'm supposed to get paid.
Resume.
Yeah, girl, we're trying to do it. We're trying to make it do it. So that's all. That's about it for me. Yeah, that's it.
All right, all right. I love it.
Well, friend, I'm gonna let you go, girl, and I look forward to talking to you on the next episode of the podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today, y'all. If you are listening to the podcast on streaming services or you watching us on YouTube, I did not go live on TikTok today, but we'll catch up on that again on the next episode. But that's all I got for you.
Same here.
See y'all. Bye.